Welcome class 10 to Julius Caesar, written by William Shakespeare, and you have to start from Act 4 as per your syllabus of the ICSE, and you have to be going on with Act 4 and continue to Act 5, and then we have to finish the drama. Now, before I begin with teaching you line by line explanation, I just want to go into dive into the pages of history, and I want to say that just remember when Julius Caesar was born. Julius Caesar was born in the year 100 BC. And well, Julius Caesar was one of the members of the first triumvirate. Okay, now the first triumvirate, that means, now what is a triumvirate? Very interestingly, what is a triumvirate? The triumvirate was actually an institution in power with three members. The three of them holding power together is a triumvirate, when each one of them is known as a triumvir. Triumvir, triumvir is a single person who is a member of the triumvirate. Now, when Julius Caesar was a member of the first triumvirate, when was this first triumvirate formed? This first triumvirate was actually a political. It was a political alliance which was formed in the year 60 BC. Now, who were the members? The members of this first triumvirate were Julius Caesar, and we know him as popularly as Caesar, Pompey, and Crassus. All right, these three of them, Caesar, Pompey, and Crassus, were the three members of this first triumvirate, as I have said. Okay, now the relation, the working of the first triumvirate as a body in power was strained. Okay, why was it strained? Because what was the reason behind it? The reason was that there was a lot of personal rivalries among them. All right, and each one of them happened to be more ambitious than the other. So in order to overtake each other and in order to fulfill their rivalries, their working got weakened. Now, this became further weakened. The functioning of the first triumvirate got further weakened when Crassus died in 53 BC. Okay, after this, the relation between Pompey and Julius Caesar got worse to the extent that there was a civil war between these two leaders, and this civil war was fought in the period 49 BC to 45 BC. All right. Now, after it was fought, Julius Caesar emerged victorious. We can just throw light on to the beginning of the play. You remember Act 1, Scene 1, where we had seen government officials, Flavius and Marullus. They were not allowing the plebeians or the commoners from rejoicing at Caesar's victory. We do remember. Now, when Caesar emerged victorious in 45 BC, and there was a reasonable turmoil in the country and between the followers of Pompey and Caesar. So in this, we remember till Act 3, we remember that Julius Caesar was assassinated in this period of turmoil. Okay. When was Julius Caesar assassinated? Julius Caesar was assassinated in the year 44 BC. And with the death of Julius Caesar in the year 44 BC, Rome plunged into a state of severe political instability. We do remember, don't we? Yes, it plunged into a state of severe instability, and so the government, the power had to be controlled. So the second triumvirate was formed It was a formal alliance, and it was formed. It was a coalition between three members. Who were the three members of the second triumvirate? That is, who were the three triumvirs of the second triumvirate? The first one was Augustus Caesar or Octavius Caesar, and he was a distant nephew of Julius Caesar and an adopted son of him as well, and he was also the heir to the will of Julius Caesar. The second member of the second triumvirate was Mark Antony. We know that he was a great Roman general. The third member of the second triumvirate was Lepidus. He was also one of the Roman generals. So they started taking over, and they had a very noble cause. They had to stop the turmoil in Rome, and they had to bring stability to the nation. And but eventually, we will see in the pages to come, when we start Act 4 and continue to Act 5, that Lepidus was a reasonably weak member, and we will be continue. Lepidus was a weak member, and he was eventually put a stop to the power of his his power was gradually taken away, and after that there were wars fought, and we will just start off with Act 4 instead of going into historical details anymore. So when Act 4 starts, Act 4 Scene 1, this is taking place in Rome, and this is taking place in Rome and in Mark Antony's house, where we can see that Antony, Octavius and Lepidus, they are seated at a table, and they are discussing that the following things. That is, we'll just begin straight away. And Antony says, "These many shall die, their names are pricked." That is, their names are marked, and these many shall die. They are making a list of the people who they are planning to kill. Octavius says, "Your brother too must die. Consent you, Lepidus?" That is, Lepidus, are you giving us permission? That is, your brother also must die. And Lepidus's brothers, Lucius, Aemilius, Paulus, and he also must die. That was what Octavius Caesar said, and well, his name also was pricked. Lepidus says, "I do consent." Okay, Lepidus gives permission, he gives his consent. Octavius says, "Prick him down, Antony," that is, mark him there. Lepidus says, "Upon condition, Publius shall not live." That is, Publius also shall not live. So Lepidus, he gives his own candidate whom he feels that should be killed as well. "Who is your sister's son, Mark Antony?" So please make sure that you remember the names of Lepidus's brother, Mark Antony's sister, who is Mark Antony's sister's son. Who is Mark Antony's sister's son? He is Publius. Whom is this name suggested by? This name is suggested by Lepidus. Okay. Now, who suggests that Lepidus's brother must die? Octavius suggests it. These, when you're reading it, if you become that cautious, you will just not miss out on any short question. I will definitely go through, give you a lot of short questions and answers which can be very, very important, and this much for the first class of class 10, and we will continue with the remaining part of the lesson in the next class. Thank you so much.